Hey folks, Cyrus Gold here, and I'm back with a bit of a patch rundown this time for you guys. It's going to be patch 6.6 soon, and with the new patch comes a bit of changes, and I want to discuss some of my half-baked ideas for these changes concerning mostly support and a little bit of mid, and how these things affect them and stuff. So, well, first of all, there's Aurelian Soul. He's dropping this patch. Um, some people talk about playing support. I don't like the idea for a couple of reasons. One of which is I don't know if they changed it or not, but in the PBE, his stars were visible even while he was in a bush. This, of course, means that you're easily identifiable as being in the bush, and linear skill shots can be drawn to you still. So, the stars kind of give you away. The stars will also potentially steal CS, and that's not a great thing. And of course, Aurelian Soul in general, while his kit is fun, and will still be fun even as a support potentially, will not be nearly as strong as they would be as a jungle, mid, top, whatever else. So I don't really see Aurelian Soul support being much of a thing quite often. I mean, mind you, it could still work, so I don't know. But next up's Alistair. He got a bit of a nerf to his Triumphant Roar. That really doesn't affect too much other than like early game sustain a little bit, where it was actually providing a decent amount to the ADC, and it's not going to be too much less. So I don't really see it impacting him too much, and whether he gets picked much, or at least it shouldn't. Now, of course, this would have been a bit of a nerf back when I was running my Ardent Moo build, which used the Triumphant Roar a lot to apply Ardent Sensor, and I had plans on updating it actually because it also procs the healing mastery, so it provides the resistance stuff to the people it hits. It still can, but it's not really worth taking that keystone now versus this because less healing. But whatever. As you're not really important for this, I mean, yeah, I do some mid, and he's, getting some changes here. But not really that big of a deal. I don't really play him, so. Cho'Gath, I have played him support, and he is fun. He gets pretty big and tanky, and this is kind of nice. It means I'll be even more tanky if I play him support, and because I like to take a relic shield and I feast on the minions, and use them for the stacks, for both relic shield stacks and getting the feast stacks going. Echo, mid or support. Either way, it's gonna be buffs all around. I really haven't played him support, but this stuff here looks pretty nice for him. Fiora, not important for mid or support, other than the fact that she's getting a nerf, so yeah, it's good for stuff. Anyway, Jonna, you might see her picked less. I mean, her shield's gonna be the attack bonus is gonna be a little bit weaker. The ult is gonna be a little bit weaker as far as the disabling, but I mean that's not the big thing. It's still gonna displace, so it's still gonna interrupt things. It's still gonna knock people around. So that's not really changing too much. I see her only being picked slightly less, really, and it's mostly gonna be focused more towards certain comps. But other than that, not a big deal. Jace, he might be stronger in mid now. I never really see anyone play a Jace support, so yeah. I mean, there's potentially something there, but yeah, there's other people who can do things better. I mean, he's definitely got poke. He's got a little bit of a CC thing, but yeah. Anyway, Calista Nurfs. And overall, I'd say nerf. The only where it's a buff is if the Oathsworn's near you. And, I mean, the odds of that happening on a regular basis in late game team fights, it's kind of a 50-50 thing depending. But it makes it to where your Oathsworn will want to try and be closer to you, and if not, Callistas will start getting mad at their Oathsworns. But whatever. Karma. Nice little bit of a buff here. Karma mid, Karma support. You know, not really too great for the Karma mid early game, but team fights, stuff like that, great. Karma support might see a lot more use of this, but yeah. Kha'Zix, the only way this is kind of important to me is the fact that I like to play some kind of slower mids, like Morgana or Vel'Koz mid, and yeah, that can hurt. Lulu Nerf, kind of bad for any support Lulu, mid Lulus, whatever. Lulu in general, you know. Lux, this is kind of a nerf, mostly a nerf really, but also potentially a buff. But it's only about a 20% buff versus the amount of nerf that it is otherwise. It's almost a 50% nerf if the shield ability, if the W hits a person once. It's a 20% buff if it hits them 2 times. And the fact that it also stacks as well as refreshes is also nice. But otherwise, you know, they lowered the scaling, they lowered the base amount of the shield. So there's that. Maokai. I am excited about this, and I'll explain why. First of all, they're giving him better magic resist and an actual magic resist growth stat. Now what this means is that he's in general not going to be as squishy when it comes to magic damage. That's kind of nice, whatever. But the big thing here is Sapling Toss. They're making it last a lot longer. Now, normally the cooldown is the cooldown is about 12 seconds. With 45% cooldown reduction, it gets to be about 6 seconds, a little bit more, like 6.5, something like that. That means you can have almost 10 saplings on the field at any given time. Now, mind you, at rank 5, they cost like 100 mana, so you got to compensate for that. But here's what my half-baked idea about this is I used to play Maokai support back in around Season 3, and you might be able to play him mid now too as well as, you know, of course, top, whatever, jungle. He's kind of all around there except for ADC, obviously. But playing him support again, going AP Bruiser, stacking mana regen, and extra mana, so that I can afford to toss out, you know, maxing the E first, tossing out saplings like crazy. That's gonna be kind of fun. Yeah, I can just imagine now. You know, I set up a pink ward in the river bush. I start tossing saplings around it. You know, anyone goes to try and clear it, just a swarm of saplings. Just ow. Yeah, maxed first. It's like goes up to 250-ish damage, and yeah, it's gonna be nice. Otherwise, let's see, late game, it's tossed, you know, like if we're being sieged, I toss them around my turret, I toss them around my carry, whatever, you know, or just use them in general poke. When sieging, I toss them over their walls, stuff like that, let them run at people. You're going to be hearing that sapling kamikaze scream so much this patch. Ugh. Well, at least I'll be hearing it, because I'll be playing support Maokai. And I'll show you guys how that works when it drops and stuff, and I get a little practice in. Master Yi, I'm not happy about. That's going to be painful for ganking. He's going to hurt a lot more. You know, it's going to be a bad time. Nidalee Nerfs. This might actually promote the occasional more instance of Nidalee support, because, you know, she's going to be a little bit less appealing as a jungler, so you might see a little more in lane. Of course, the Pounce nerf is going to kind of affect that as well. I mean, they increase the base damage of it though, but, you know, so for that reason, at least the base damage at the lower level, yeah. But yeah, so we might see her support again, might see her a little more in lane, you know. Orianna buffs, we're going to be seeing a lot more poke from her in earlier game, because 30 mana to use the Q, and she's going to be spamming that Q, and be like, okay, I'm just going to throw it at people, like crazy. So yeah. Quinn doesn't really affect anything. Shyvana, her nerf's good for anyone who's afraid of getting ganked. So yeah. Not really a big effect here from Twisted Fate, just fixing a skin. And that's all that was really going to affect us, except for one final thing, the drop portal. And I don't really see it affecting supports who build it too much. I mean, it's going to be 5 less magic and armor resist. Well, armor and magic resist. Anyway. The health change to it, yeah, it's not that big of a deal really, because most of the time it was falling at about 5 hits anyway. Of course, now even weaker people can take it out pretty fast. It'll provide more gold to the enemy, or more gold for you if you kill them, so whatever. And yeah, explosive war thing's not that big of a deal. The fact that it'll regenerate its health after being out of combat for a while, it's pretty nice. Means that you definitely have to finish them off. But other than that, that's all the changes that's really going to affect mid and support that I can see. At least direct changes. There's of course indirect changes, some of which I mentioned, but and of course, like I said, I'm really excited about the Maokai. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Can't wait to try it. But anyway, if you guys liked this video, please hit the like button. And of course, if you didn't like the video, you can hit the dislike button. You can always subscribe for future content. And if you have any thoughts and any ideas, half-baked ideas yourself, you can always let me know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys later.